Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of uh, Factorio Tutorials, which never gets easier to say. Um, yeah, last time I left you guys off, we had just gotten our electricity set up. I did upgrade it a little bit off camera. I added another coal miner, which I don't really need for the power, but you'll see where that comes in just a little while. And I added a bunch of burners and a bunch of steam engines there. Um, Still have stone being collected. We still have um, iron and copper being run off of burner miners, which is not ideal. Um, and in this episode, I'm going to expand this little dinky production here um, that we have going for our copper and our iron into a full-fledged, well, factory, basically, which is kind of the point of the game. So, um, I'm going to drop down, first off, an electric mining drill for the iron. And the way this deposit is shaped, there's not really a great way to do it, but yeah, we'll kind of try and make it as efficient as we can. Get this hole out of the way because that's just going to cause problems. So, usually what I like to do to start out with, anyway, is get a couple miners set up. And I'll actually do this the easy way. It's not really the best way, but it'll get us started. And yeah, so we'll bring this over around there. Pick up some more iron, get some more belts being made. And I'm also going, so basically what we're going to do is we're going to have our smelting operation set up in a big line going vertically right in here. And you can do this horizontally. There's many different configurations that you can use for this. But one of the key elements that we're going to need is something that we actually have to research. So I've already crafted a laboratory here, or a laboratory, whatever you want to call it. And I am going to go ahead and start researching logistics, which takes 20 red science packs. We can get into that a little bit more when I start automating science. But what that gives us is underground belts and splitters. Splitters are amazing. They make everything run a lot smoother than trying to do it with inserters and stuff like that. And yeah, it's just great. So we'll go ahead and get that. Oh, I forgot to actually research it. So we'll get that going. I did craft 10 red science. I'll go ahead and let's see here, get the other 10 crafting while I'm doing other things here. So basically what's going to happen is we're going to have a line of iron ore, a line of coal being brought over from this coal deposit here, and a line of copper ore. So it's all going to go to one central location here, and oops, and it's going to go into 10 of these burners. If I can get them lined up correctly. And like I said, there's tons of configurations to do this with. I just like this because it uses the least amount of power poles, but yeah, like I said, there's tons of places to do this. And so we're also going to need a bunch of inserters, which I don't quite have the materials for yet. Go back up here, collect some more iron. Alright, so we're going to need 10 normal inserters, and we're actually going to need to research something else for the long-armed inserters. But yeah, I'll kind of take one thing at a time here. In the meantime, I could start getting this line set up. Which is going to be our coal line. Which this does end up taking quite a bit of iron to pull off, but it is worth it, and it makes your life a whole lot easier down the road here. And so we'll just add a bunch of inserters here, which those things don't have anything to pick up yet, but that's fine. Start making some more belts. Coal, but that's fine. Go ahead and get some here. Probably don't need all of that coal, but will kind of keep us going here for a minute. Just throw a whole stack in. I'll get this line run all the way down here. And those are going to load that up with iron. All we're missing is the coal, which I do need some splitter action for. But we'll just kind of max out on belts for right now. Always a good thing to have on hand. Plus I'm going to be using a lot of them for this setup, so don't need that last one. Come on, logistics. It's got to be coming up. I guess one thing I could do is I could pick up this coal and start getting these ready. So another shortcut that I learned relatively not that long ago, if you hold Control while you have an item that you can insert into something, if you left click, it gives everything that you have on your cursor to that, and if you right click, it gives half of it. So I can right click here and it gives it 25 coal, left click and it gives 25 coal, and just keep doing that until basically I run out of coal. And what that's going to do while I'm researching all this stuff is, because I need the long-handed inserter as well, that's just going to make a ton of iron for me. Basically, I'm just manually filling what I'm trying to automate here. So I can just go down this line, or this line, pick up a bunch of iron, and make more of those. Go ahead and make the one splitter that we can make. I have a feeling I need more copper for that, but so how the splitters work is basically it turns one line into two lines, or vice versa. So you get it going in the right way. And this is our input line, and it goes over to the boilers, which we already had that set up. Now it's going onto this new line as well, which is going all the way over here, and it's going to feed into these boilers once we, or not boilers, into these smelters once we get the long-handed inserters set up, which, go ahead, start working on that right now. You need some copper for that though. I've got a little bit of coal I can feed into there. Yeah, we'll start this research off. This one doesn't take nearly as long to complete. It only takes about half as many science packs, and I believe the research time is actually lower on it. So a lot of people start out with automation just because they like making factories first off, but I like running all of my belts first, and then just setting up all my factories after the fact. So it's kind of a personal preference. That's one of the great things about this game is it lets you do basically whatever you want. There's many different styles of play. You can do, giant worlds with a ton of rail and stuff like that, or you can do all one compact base. I mean, there really is no wrong way to play this game, depending on who you ask, I suppose. Sure, if you go on the forums, there's plenty of wrong ways, but yeah, whatever makes you happy, that sort of thing. So basically with this splitter, you can see it's keeping this line full. If both of these lines are empty, it'll alternate whatever material it has going through there. Now, without modding the game, these splitters don't care what goes through here. So if you have coal and ore, it's going to alternate either way. But yeah, it's a good general rule of thumb. Just keep one resource per belt, and as you kind of split it off, just kind of keep one resource going. You can merge the two. I've had a few maps that I've done myself where I'll have one side of the belt be ore and one side of the belt be the fuel. I personally have kind of gotten away from that just because the throughput of the resource isn't that great once you get away from, once you start needing a lot more resources, it's really not that great of a system. You kind of have to do certain things to make it work. Yeah, so those long arm inserters, they're reaching from this belt two blocks away and putting them into the burners there, which is great, and we basically had that automated. So these miners aren't keeping up. I'm going to upgrade that off screen, but what you can do now is build a bunch of belts here, and I'm going to build a few more inserters as well. But basically, get this one line going on. Oops. Dang it. Cancel the wrong thing. Hold on. Come on, inserters. Alright, so we've got these inserters here, and they will take the iron plates out and move them to this belt, and you can take that belt wherever you need it as far as getting a factory set up. So with that, that's the general idea on how you smelt things, or how you get a huge, not huge, but a decent sized operation going on. Much better than manually picking out of this. I'm actually going to pick these up relatively quickly. And next time we are going to get into red science and basically generally automating things, just basically the whole process behind it. So I'm going to go ahead and do a few things off screen, and then I will be back and we can get into actually setting up our first factories. So until next time, this is Alex from FCOG Gaming, reminding you to take care of yourselves out there, and as always, thanks for watching. Oh, wow. I might need a
Alright.
There's like... Oh god, I'm out of ammo. That's
I'm
not good.
coming. Can you head to me? Oh god, I'm running as fast as I can.
I think I got them.
Alright.
They're all
Wow.
small biters, but there were like
A lot of them.
20 of them. Yeah.
Damn. Do you have armor?
No.